Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another grounded video. Everybody else has done it. Now it's my turn to talk about it. Since the PTS is done, the update is already out, and it kind of limped towards the finish. We got to talk about the armor upgrades, the armor overall, and that's basically it. So obviously, it hasn't had the best of the receptions of some of the updates that we've had in the past, mainly for the way that they rolled it out. There were some changes that they didn't even talk about, mainly the cost, the final cost of upgrading armor. But the whole system, I think, again, great idea, poorly executed. So we're just going to jump in. We're going to go heavy, medium, light. We're going to discuss the differences between bulky and sleek, and then we're going to take a look at the bonuses themselves. So without further ado, let's jump right into the heavy armor. So here we have, this is a creative world, by the way, just so I could upgrade everything and take a look at the different things, because I wanted time to process everything and kind of see what we had here. So if you're looking at the heavy armor, first things first, the stamina changes corresponding with the armor that you're wearing. So heavy armor, it's going to cost you more stamina to attack. Medium is going to take a little less, and then the light armor is obviously going to be more efficient, using a lot less stamina than the heavy. So that's already one negative about the heavy armor. I don't think it reduces your running speed or anything like that. It more is just in line with the stamina cost of using the weapons. So even though they've cut the stamina use for swinging a weapon in half for every weapon, you're still going to be at a disadvantage using the heavy armor. But if that's the route you want to go, then by all means, if you can manage your stamina while still using the heavy armor, then obviously you're going to go for it. So our first one we're going to look at here is the roly-poly armor. And one of the big things I've noticed with a lot of the armors is there's really the slightest difference in defense slash resistance. You can look here at the roly-poly helmet, 7.5 resistance. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 defense. Compared to the sleek, it's only going to be 5 defense, and the resistance is the exact same. But now you have blocking strength added. So the differences are so minuscule. I don't know why anybody would go bulky path. Maybe if you do end up getting hit a lot and that little sliver of defense is going to help out overall, then go for it. Again, these are just my opinions, so don't at me in the comments or anything like that. So let's just jump back into it. So the defense overall for the set of the heavy armor, or the bulky set of roly-poly, is going to be 20 defense total. Your set for the sleek is going to be 18 total. So that 2 points of defense has not been a game breaker from what I've seen from testing these out, running around, beating up enemies and stuff like that. I haven't noticed any significant difference. With this one, you do get the blocking strength, and that's going to lead us into this real quick too. So on the old OS, you had everything described over here as to what buffs did what and what kind of armor did what. That's completely gone. The only way to figure that out now is to make the armor and then wear the armor. So no longer can you just jump in here and be like, you know what? I'm kind of curious about this ladybug armor, what the changes are. Let me go ahead and look at it. You can't do that anymore. You literally have to craft the ladybug armor and look it up. Go from there. So that's one thing right there. We're going to look at this. So obviously, let's go ahead and grab the sleek armor out of here. We're going to take a look at all the bonuses here, since you can't look at them
less squishy now.
until you equip the armor. So you see here, we do know that we're going to get blocking strength. You can look at here, plus block stun, applies stun damage to target. So every time you're blocking, you're applying stun damage to the target. Heavy armor, it's going to tell you right there, heavy armor greatly increases the stamina required to swing weapons. And blocking strength, block more. Block more. What does that even mean? And then your new gear set bonus for the roly-poly armor is increases enemies' desire to attack you. Now, I don't know what that has to do with invincible shielding. Why, if you have invincible shielding, it would increase the enemy's desire to attack you. Who knows? But that's your roly-poly armor. I don't recommend using it. If you guys want to, go for it for the block stun and the blocking strength, but not something I would look forward to. So next, I'm not even going to touch the bulky armors because, like I said, the defenses are definitely not significant for the... We'll go over the defense for the set of Ladybug bulky armor is 14.5, and for the sleek armor it's 12.5. Again, that 2-point difference, which is pretty negligible when you're fighting. You can still kill pretty much all of the insects relatively quickly and take less damage doing it. So this one, now we have our Ladybug armor. You can see here, blocking strength. Block more. That's simple. Just block more. That you get blocked more. Heavy armor, same thing right here. Plus healing received increases the amount of healing you receive from all sources. So this one is cool. So this ranged from heal bosses, your roasts, your fiber bandages, your granola bars, everything that heals you is going to heal you more. We don't know how much more, but it's going to heal you more. And then your set bonus for the Ladybug armor is still going to be Scarlet Embrace, occasionally heal after blocking attacks. Now that doesn't just proc anymore randomly like it used to. Now it's only after blocking attacks. So if you're trying to use this and you're never going to be blocking, you're never going to get that Scarlet Embrace. So another one I wouldn't recommend using too much. But maybe early game, it's good, but you're really probably not going to level these up past that. And speaking of leveling up armor, nobody in their right mind is going to level up any of the armor, Clover, Acorn, or Grub, to level 9. You know why? Because you need Pupil Leather and Berry Leather just to get it that far. Nobody is going to go all through the game, go level 9 with the Acorn armor. You're just not going to do it. And if you are, I mean, go for it. But it doesn't make any sense. What they should have done, and this is my opinion, is all of the tier 1 armors require require grub hides only. That's the only thing you need. You can level those up 1 through 9 with grub hides. Tier 2 armor, use the berry leather. Or if you want to still use the grub hides, then grub hides and berry leather. Now the tier 3 armor, okay, grub hide, berry leather, and then pupil leather. That's the way it should be, because nobody is going to level this up to level 9. This gear is typically going to be used maybe for the hedge lab if you go that far. Once you go to the haze lab, you're probably going to have tier 2 armor, ladybug or spider armor. And then tier 3 once you get to like the black ant lab and stuff like that. But nobody is going to level this up to level 9 and use it. And what this does, so we'll go ahead and break down the defense between heavy and, bulky and sleek rather. 9 total defense for the bulky, 8.5 for the sleek. So tell me if that 0.5 difference between defense is really going to make that big of a difference. It's not. Nobody's going to use this. We'll go ahead and look at the perks for it. Threat generation increases enemies' desire to attack you. Now that's what we were told about invincible shielding, so one of these is wrong. And then max health, okay, gives you more max health, and then the gear set bonus is still uncrackable, tough nut to crack and hard to stun, so it makes it more difficult for them to stun you. So cool. Even though I'm in creative, this wolf spider is still freaking me out here. All right, and for G-Wiz, let's go ahead and take a look at the Firefly headlamp. Level 9, if you're going to level that up. Obviously, this still does give you your ability to see at night, so that's still a bonus. But now we have plus pebble harvest speed. I don't know why. Let's go ahead and look at the defense difference between bulky and sleek. 4 for bulky, 3.5 for sleek. There's no reason to go bulky. So there you go, plus pebble harvest speed. If you want to break pebbles in 2 hits instead of 3, if it's really going to save you that much time, then by all means. All right, so that's heavy armor. I'm really not going to be using any of that. You guys obviously going to make your own decisions when it comes to this, but that's just me. All right, so now we're in medium armor. Let's take a look at the spider armor. Next page, please. There we go. Okay. So spider armor, bulky route defense is going to be 14.5, and for sleek, it's going to be 12.5. 2-point difference, just like a lot of them are. So this one is actually still pretty good. Stamina regen delay, reduce the time it takes for stamina to start regenning instead of regenerating, whatever. And here it is, medium armor moderately increases the stamina required to swing weapons. Plus poison damage, plus poison damage, plus poison damage, because you get 1 for each set. And then you're going to have Hunter's Prowess. Your body recycles energy with increased efficiency. So spider armor is still going to be a decent armor. Tier 2, I would recommend using it, but I mean, after that, you can still use it as well. Because it does have still some nice bonuses. So probably the best armor in the game now is going to be this right here. If you're not looking at just bonuses, but looking at defense, Antlion armor is going to have the same defense as the roly-poly armor. For bulky, it's going to be 20, and for sleek, it's going to be 18, which is the exact same as the roly-poly armor. The only difference is, obviously, this gives sizzle protection, but the bonuses here is also going to be get thirsty slower, which is super nice. Still have the gear set bonus of quick draw, so super nice for archer class or something like that. If you're using the crow crossbow, which I use this a lot, this will be my setup crow crossbow and antlion armor. Plus the sizzle protection. You know, when you're in the sandbox, you're probably more than likely using this. This is still something that I'd recommend leveling up to level 9 down the sleek path to use. It's still really good in my opinion. So next up is going to be the black ant armor. Now I've played with this one a little bit, and I think the jury's still a little out for me on this one. So it does have really nice bonuses. Let's go ahead and look at the bulky and sleek differences. Bulky is going to be 14.5, sleek is going to be 12.5. But we're going to take a look at the bonuses here. So crit after block. Blocking attacks has a chance to increase your critical hit chance for a short time. Again, we don't know how long, we don't know how short that time is. Plus crit hyper stamina. Critical hits increase your stamina regen for a short time. These sound really good. These sound like really good bonuses, even if you're going bulky just for the crit after block or whatever. The crit hyper stamina is going to be something that's really nice. And then pin cushion, which doesn't really do anything. They really need to change this gear set bonus. I hope sometime in between this update and the next one that they kind of overhaul a lot of things, but the armor ones right here definitely need to be addressed. The gear set bonuses on some of these, because the damage that this reflects back at other insects is pretty negligible. We don't even know what kind of damage it is. So Black Ant armor, I'm still messing with it. I like it. I want to like it, but I'm still not too sure about it. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look at another tier 1 armor here, the Grub armor.
That should keep me safe.
So this is probably my go-to armor at the beginning without even having it upgraded. But again, nobody is going to upgrade this to level 9. It's tier 1 armor. It's one of the first armors you get alongside Clover and Acorn. And you're just not going to do that. So you're going to get the plus max stamina. And it also gives you plus hyper stamina, so regain your stamina faster. But you're not going to have this up to level 9. You're really not going to be using this. Maybe if you're rocking aphid slippers and running around with it, but then you're going to lose the optimized offense, which reduces the time it takes your stamina to start regenning, which was similar to what we had with one of the other armors that I just looked at. But Grub armor, good at the beginning. You're not going to upgrade it to level 9. So that's the case on that one. Now we're going to look at a couple of the medium headpieces here. Starting with the Marksman Cap. So Marksman Cap, you're going to have the plus crit energized bow and plus bow attack for level 9 sleek. So critical hits provide you with an instant stamina boost. We don't know how much. It's a very little one. And then the plus bow attack. So now this is going to, once you get this up to level 9, or once you get it level 8 or 9 or whatever, once you go down to the sleek path, you'll finally get the bow attack. So it's not going to give you that automatic bow attack like it does, like it used to. So still useful. I don't even have to use this for the scarabs, but if you don't have it upgraded yet, then it's still nice. The Might armor, I don't know anybody that uses this, plus hyper stamina, stamina regen delay, so we're just getting rid of that. Mask of the Mother Demon. Now this is an interesting one. Plus poison coating, so if you're using this and the spider armor, I mean, I guess, but Poison Nova, your melee attacks have a chance, we don't know the chance, to release a burst of poison to all living beings around you. So if you're using this in multiplayer, and if you have friendly fire on, are you going to poison the people you're playing with? Is this going to cause unnecessary threat generation to other insects around, like some neutral insects that you're not trying to fight? So be careful with that. Poison Nova, I guess, is good. I haven't messed with it a lot. It doesn't seem to proc very often. So these are kind of rendered useless to me. I don't really see myself using these anymore. Maybe the Marksman Cap when you first get it, and maybe just to mess around when I do some more class builds with the Mask of the Mother Demon. But aside from that, it's pretty much a no-go. Up next, let's take a look at the light armor, starting with the B armor. We're going to go ahead and, next page, please. B armor for bulky, 14.5, sleek, 12.5. Again, that 2-point difference. Now this set's actually kind of nice. So plus blow stun applies stun damage to targets. Slow shot arrows. Arrows have a chance to slow the target, and you get pollen shot. Now the pollen shot is similar to, I guess, similar to what the bees do, but it's also similar to the shinobi sneeze. The shinobi sneezes cause the enemies to basically leave you alone. Now this doesn't do that, but it does seem to have the same effect as the bees pollen attack when they do it. Not to the extent that that it does to you when they do it, but it does have a little bit of an effect on them. So the bee armor, I think, if you're building a range class, whether you use the insect bow or the crow crossbow, this can be a really good armor. Plus, it's light, so you can move faster, and it's not going to require as much stamina to use your weapons. So bee armor, I give a plus rating to. That's one of the ones that's a go-to for me if I'm going to be using my range class. Next up, we have the koi armor. Now, this is one I've been using.
A little less squishy now.
Mainly for the perfect block. So perfect block. Let's go ahead and check the defense real quick for bulky and sleek. 14.5 for bulky, 12.5 for sleek, similar to the B armor. Plus perfect block, so extends the perfect block timing window. So if you're practicing perfect blocking and you just want to try to get it down to a science, then go ahead and use this koi armor, because it's definitely going to help you get those perfect blocks off a lot easier. And parry stun, perfect blocking and attack temporarily increases the stun damage you deal. So this is actually going to allow you to stun enemies quicker if you're fighting some of the heavier armor or heavier insects. And then dazzling riposte, which enemies you perfect block are filled with self-doubt. I'm not 100% sure on what this does, but what it seems like it does is some of the smaller enemies actually run away from you once you get them down to quite a bit or quite low health. So koi armor I like, but not one of my favorites right now. Red ant armor. Let's take a look at this guy. So bulky versus sleek. Bulky, you have plus 9 armor, and then the sleek is going to be 8.5. So this one you still have your hauling strength, so it's going to allow you to carry 8 pieces around. Grass harvest speed, which is a new addition. So once you upgrade this one to sleek, this can be your farming gear. And then we still have the human red ant CU is one of them. Now this is not going to be in effect if you are doing the mixer or using the waft emitter or having a base raid. You can't just throw this on and have the enemies leave you alone. They'll attack you. So basically the same on this one. Not too much has changed aside from the grass harvest speed. So starting out, if you want to make that and then try to get upgraded to level 6 or something, then it can still be effective. Clover armor. It is tier 1. Nobody's going to level it up to level 9. But for the sake of the video, bulky is 9 and sleek is 8.5. So you have fuller, stay fuller longer. You have regenerate health over time, which is nice. But this is when it's upgraded. And then you still have moist for the gear set bonus. So that's all the time we're spending on that. Good early game armor. Not so much late game armor. Let's go ahead and jump into the termite armor, aphid slippers, bubble helmet, gill tube, fin flops plus, and eye patch. Now, if you guys noticed when you're crafting, some of these items have been removed. So we no longer have the eye patch plus. We no longer have the gill tube plus. I believe they had one. Bubble helmet, and I think that was it. Oh, fin flops. Fin flops, the regular fin flops are gone. So we go ahead and look at the termite armor, sleek path again. Termite armor, 9 for bulky, 8 for sleek. Dust guard grants immunity to all dust-based effects. So if you're going up for the get lint from the welcome mat up on the shed there, then this is basically going to make you immune to their attacks. Dust cloud, melee attacks have a chance to release a cloud of sawdust. Cool. Still not a really good armor. So the bubble helmet you can see here still provides the veteran diver, but now you have hyper stamina, so you regain stamina faster. Super useful underwater. Aphid slippers, the quickness, run faster, and reduces the stamina cost of sprinting. So these are actually better now. Still use those if you're trying to traverse the map. Gill tube is going to be the same thing, just a little bit less than the bubble helmet. So junior diver, hold breath longer. It's a little bit longer. Hyper stamina again. Fin flops plus, you have your swim speed increase, swim faster, and the sprint distance reduce the stamina cost of sprinting. And then your eye patch right here. So eye patch has got 3 different bonuses now, or 1 D bonus, lack of a bonus. So you still have the plus attack, attacks do more damage, damage resist, reduces your resistance to taking damage. But it's also interesting here. So threat generation, negative threat generation decreases enemies' desire to attack you. So this could actually be useful early on if you are looking for something else to increase your attack. If you're using a not as strong of a weapon, but you need that extra attack. And this is actually going to decrease enemies' desire to attack you. So if you're running around getting close to some of the angrier insects, then you can actually have that on and they'll kind of ignore you there. So that's all we got for the gear here, guys. I think it needs an overhaul already. Again, I think it's a great idea having armor upgrades. I think the cost is ridiculous for some of the tier 1 armors. I think, again, you just use grub hide for the tier 1, grub and berry for tier 2, grub, berry, and pupa for tier 3. I think that would be better. They have decreased the cost of upgrading for the grub hide, so it's 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15 now, which is 45 now total for one piece. So it's going to be 135 as opposed to like the 190 pieces it was. And grubs are pretty much everywhere now. You still have to go out and grind them, so you still have to go out and spend your time to dig up the grubs and the berry leather and the pupa, but those two aren't that difficult to get yourself some. So that's our breakdown of the armor. We have no designation. We got one more actually here, and this is the gas mask. So I have gone over this in one of my other videos. So now this has explosive resist as well. So gas guard prevents damage from all gas-based attacks. That's your stink bugs and the haze and the trash heap. Now it still does take damage in the trash heap just from being in there, but it's not as much. Explosive resist increases your resistance to taking damage, so your weevils, your infected weevils, and the all the fungi and everything from the infection that's around the yard, if you plug the haze, it's gonna take less damage if you have that equipped. So that's all we got for that one. So I'm gonna wrap this video up. It's been too long already, so that's all we got, guys. Let me know what you guys think about the armor upgrades and the new armor buffs, the bulky and sleek path. Do you go bulky or do you go sleek? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. We'd love to have you join the community. Link in the description to join the Discord. With that being said, take care of yourself, everybody. Take care of each other, and as always, stay original, my friends. We will see you guys in the next video. Later.